Do you want to know about the Red Deer Public Schools programs in Canada? Stay with us today. Welcome to our podcast, Red Deer Public Schools in Canada, Academic Excellence. My name is Hugo Bustamante. I'm Recruitment Manager for Global Studies. Don't forget that Global Studies can help you to apply to different destinations around the world in the UK, Canada, Spain, Italy, United States, Germany, and many other destinations. You just have to contact us. You have here our email address, so you can schedule with us your free guidance session. Don't forget that we can help you for free, and just have to contact us using our email address. And today, it's a pleasure to present you to Brian Plastow. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. Nice to see you, and it's nice to be able to have the chance to speak with everybody.
Brian. Well, I want to introduce you to Brian. He's Director of International Education, Red Deer Public Schools. Brian has been a teacher and an administrator in Red Deer for 30 years. His journey in international education began when he was 16 and studied abroad in France for a year, where he lived with a wonderful host family. Learning French became a lifelong passion, and he completed his baccalaureate in education in French at the Faculty Saint Jean in Edmonton, Alberta. Outside of work, Ryan enjoys spending time with his wife and two daughters and their dog Goose. During the summer, you find him fly fishing in the Rocky Mountains of Alberta. Brian, it is a pleasure to have you here today. And we want to know more about the different programs that Red Deer Public Schools in Canada can offer us.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Please.
So Hugo, I have a bit of a presentation here, and thank you for that very nice introduction. I was an international student many moons ago, and that sort of led me to this path here in running this program that we're very proud of. So this is our tagline: Live, Learn, and Grow. Our whole mission we feel is to help young adults wherever they come from in the world to grow up and become more positive members in their community. So I often like Red Deer's not a very well known city outside of Canada. Within Canada, it's very well known, especially in our province of Alberta. But this is just a quick overview of why students choose us. We have a very good location that I'm going to talk about in a second. We're in between two major cities, and we're very close to the Rocky Mountains. The province of Alberta, where the city of Red Deer is, has one of the highest ranked education systems in the world. We're normally in the top 5 of countries on the triennial PISA exam. So we're one of the best educations in the world, and it's all publicly funded. We have a plethora of option classes that students can take. It's almost an unending list, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. We have an activity program for international students where we take students on a trip or an excursion or an activity once a month. We're a mid-sized program. It used to be a small program, but we get students from all over the world. I think currently we have 16 countries represented, so we have a nice diversity of languages. We really want students to grow. That's our whole purpose. We run our own homestay program, and my staff is second to none. If there was one reason I would tell you why you should choose Red Deer Public, it's because of the 4 ladies that work with me. Students get 4 extra mothers, and we really are proud of how well we take care of kids. And we have something called the Diplomat Program, which is a buddy system where we have Canadian students volunteer to help out our international students the first couple days of school, so that nobody gets lost or they find their way around our big schools and things like that. So as I said, Red Deer is a very well located. We're in Western Canada, a province called Alberta. It's a huge landmass. like with very, very few people. We only have a population of 5 million people, and I believe Red Deer is twice the size of France. So lots of space, lots of wide open space, lots of distance in between our towns. We get used to driving long ways to get from point A to point B, and we're only 2 hours away from the beautiful Rocky Mountains. Right, and this is kind of what Alberta looks like. Lots of downhill skiing opportunities. We always have a blue sky. We have some of the most amount of sunshine in Canada. Even in the winter when it's cold, we have beautiful blue skies. Really diverse landscapes. On the left there, that's a picture of a UNESCO World Heritage Site called Drumheller. It's a huge deposit of dinosaur fossils and everything like that. It's a completely different geological area that is just outside of Red Deer. We have big modern cities. That's the city of Edmonton, our capital city. It's close to 1 million people. Our biggest city is called Calgary. It's about 1.3 million people. And Red Deer is exactly between both of our large cities. This just happened last week again. The Northern Lights are very visible from our location, especially in the winter, but every once in a while we get them in the spring. And this is kind of the dichotomy of Red Deer. We have very natural, I call them urban forests, where that are within our city. Beautiful walking trails, creeks, lakes. Wild animals roam through here, but it's a modern city of 115,000 people. We're the third largest city in the province, but not that large. It only takes us about 10 minutes to drive anywhere in our city. And that's a picture of our downtown at Christmas and whatnot. So it's, I would say, a typical Canadian city, and students will get a typical Canadian experience in Red Deer. We do have 4 very distinct seasons. We're finally in spring and getting close to summer, which is our favorite time of year because we do have a long winter. And I get asked a lot about our winter, about how cold it gets. It gets pretty cold. It is Canada. It's what makes up our culture. A lot of things, like our favorite pastime is like ice hockey, for example, and winter sports. So it can get very, very cold in December, January, February, but it's not always cold. I love this picture. This is a picture of Mexican and Brazilian students in February. We get warm temperatures even in the winter. There's a weather phenomenon called the Chinook wind that comes over the Rocky Mountains and warms us up 10, 15, 20 degrees in an afternoon. So it could be the middle of February, it could be minus 15, and then by the afternoon it's plus 15. So it is not always cold. And I know it can get a little chilly in Bolivia and other parts of South America as well. And our students never complain about how cold it gets. So it's part of the experience in coming to Canada is winter. We have great schools,
Okay.
2 high schools that we put students in. On the left there is Lindsay Thurber Comprehensive High School. It's the school I went to when I was a boy, and I was a teacher there, and I was a vice principal there. The school on the right is newly renovated. It's called Hunting Hills. My daughter went to school there. Both are excellent schools. Both offer very, very similar programs. There's slight differences. For example, Lindsay Thurber offers Japanese as an option class if students want to study Japanese, where Chinese is offered at the other school at Hunting Hills. But other than that, they're almost identical. Lindsay Thurber on the left is just under 2,000 students, and Hunting Hills on the right is about 1,500 students. So pretty big high schools. Like I said before, on the latest PISA exam, we ranked 5th in science and 5th in reading. I think we were 3rd or 4th in 2018, but traditionally we are one of the top ranked educational systems in the world. Canada is so large, every province runs its own educational system. So that's why we can glean out some of that, some of those numbers. So public schools, everybody goes to public schools in Alberta. They're very well funded and really, really nice places to learn. Alberta students have to take a certain number of classes, what we call career and technical sciences. Basically, these are option classes. Everybody has to take math and English and science, etc. But the list of option classes, this is just a sample here, is extraordinarily long. So we have everything from very technical, like game, esports, robotics, coding, all the way down to like building construction, welding, foods, um, medical studies, you name it. These are all classes that students can try and help them determine what they want to do later on in life. So all of our international students get access to those classes as well. Sports is a very big part of high school life in Canada, very similar to the United States, I think. I've organized our sports here by season. So volleyball is very strong here. American football is played in the fall, where what we call soccer or what you would call football is in the spring. We have cross country running, we have golf. Basketball is the only sport that you have to be here for an entire year. It starts in semester 1 and ends in semester 2. I don't know if Bolivian students are familiar with curling, but it's a winter sport played on ice. Cross country skiing, rugby is very popular here. Handball is very popular here. So is badminton, and we have track and field. And those are just school sports. We have a wide range of other sports that are available in our community. Students have the right to try out for these teams, but they have to be strong enough athletes. And if they do make the team, there's a bit of an extra fee that gets paid directly to the school. But it's not just sports. The one high school's improvisation team, like improv theater, won a national championship this year. So our fine arts are very strong too. There's music programs. You can become a cheerleader. You can take welding class. It's a lot of students tell us that it seems like the movie High School Musical. Even the colors are the same at the school and things like that. Like I mentioned, we have an activity program for international students. It's part of the fees. So we take students, for example, to the Rocky Mountains twice. We go skiing at our local ski hill in Red Deer a couple times. We've organized ski trips in the mountains. We go to the big cities. We go to smaller, interesting sites around Red Deer. We ask our host families to be loving, caring families, not necessarily tour guides. So we want to make sure that our students get out there and see the main sort of tourist attractions, I guess, that are in our community. So it's not just about going to school. We want to show you what we think is a very beautiful province as well. So yeah, there's the city of Calgary in the background. And we mix it up. We always have a Halloween dance, for example. So it's high school kids get to experience Halloween a little bit. And then we also ask our students what they would like to do, and we try to accommodate that, something new every year as well. There's a picture of our local ski hill. It's not very big. It's not in the mountains, but it's a great place to learn how to ski. And a lot of our students come from warm countries who have never skied before. Those girls there are from Taiwan, and it was their first time seeing snow and skiing, and they did really well. What's important to us is we run our own homestay program. So we get to know our hosts very well. I have 2 homestay coordinators, and they've developed a wonderful community of hosts that help each other out. And we do our very best at making a really, really strong match. Sometimes what we think we see on paper as a good match sometimes works out. Most times it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. And we sometimes have to move kids on the request of the family or request of the students, because we don't want anybody to be miserable. And we want to make sure everybody has a very, very positive experience. So there's a typical Canadian house. A typical family activity would be to go camping, and a lot of our host families do that in the spring and the fall. We have lots of requirements for our host families. My number one requirement is that they treat the students like members of their own family. They're not guests. They're not staying in a hotel. They have to become family members, and that's when it works the best. and we need the students to want to integrate into a family as well. So, but there's family rules, there's house rules, and when everybody communicates well, we don't seem to have too many problems. Um, that I'm just going to skip past that. Our buddy program is, or diplomat program is very important to me. When I studied in France, my first day in high school was terrible. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anybody. I was a new kid in school, and I couldn't speak French. And my host brother just told me to follow some girls, and I did that all day, and I had no idea what was going on. I was pretty anxious about that, so we want to reduce that anxiety. And it's just another example of how we take care of kids. We do have volunteers who will meet students at the front door. They've already met during the orientation. Most of the time, we have them set up as pairs before they arrive, and they have already WhatsApped each other and things like that. And it's just helps the first day go smooth. And sometimes we become really, really good friends. Sometimes they don't. But that first day or two, kids are taken care of, and they don't get lost, and they get introduced to their class, their teachers, and whatnot. But by far, our greatest asset are those 4 ladies that work with me. They go above and beyond the call of duty all the time. If they find out a student is wanting in something or needs something, they move heaven and earth to make sure that that gets taken care of. And we're very fortunate. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're very fortunate to actually have a Spanish speaker in our program. So we have a Latina mother. Her name's Alejandra. She originally comes from Colombia, but she moved here when she was 17. And our Spanish-speaking students get a little bit of extra care and attention, and our South American kids often go over there for supper so they can get some home cooking from South America and things like that. So we're pretty blessed to have her in the program, and as one of our homestay coordinators. And I always just end with my philosophy that we're here to help kids become better citizens. And I really do think the world's a better place with programs like ours in place, and people like you, Hugo, that are trying to make those connections for young adults. So I know I went through that really, really quickly. So if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. And yeah, so that's my quick little pitch on Red Deer Public Schools.
Thank you, Brian. Please, could you let us know when are the principal intakes that the students must consider?
Because our school goes from September to June. So we have a fall intake, which is basically the end of August, the last week of August, and that first semester ends at the end of January. And then our next intake is at the end of January, beginning of February, which ends in June. And then we just ask that all the kids go home for the summer.
Perfect. And please, Brian, what do you recommend to those students that want to study with you? How long in advance is good to contact?
That's a very good question. Officially, our deadline for fall is April 15th. But what we're finding, because we're like by middle of March, we're full. So I would actually, after Christmas, January, February is when people start emailing us, and we get most of our applications in February now, just to make sure people have enough spots. There's one thing that we do. We understand that parents are making a big investment. We put a maximum of all the language groups. So we'll only take 20 Spanish-speaking students at a time. And we do get students from Spain. We get some from Mexico. The odd once in a while we get somebody from Chile. and we get lots of interest out of Germany, we get lots of interest from Brazil. So we don't want those students just speaking their mother tongue. We want to make sure they're integrating and learning English. So we kind of maximize around 20 kids who can come at a time. So we do fill up in certain language groups really, really quickly, and Spanish is one of those. So I would say after Christmas, January, February, that they want to start applying for sure.
Perfect. That is really important to take to consider. And please, Brian, what can you tell us about? You were talking about the advantages for of the accommodation, because you are searching for families that can help the students, yes, to feel
Yes.
at home.
Yeah, so we work pretty hard with our families to help them understand what students need. We have lots of really, really experienced families who know exactly what they're doing, and they're very patient because students are learning a second language and whatnot. And every year we have new ones, and our homestay coordinators work with them to help them become strong hosts. And because we run our own homestay program, we can respond quickly to any issues. Usually, well, I would say 95% of the time, we respond within the day of any sort of issue that's going on. Sometimes if things happen on the weekends, we might leave something till Monday unless it's an emergency. And when it's an emergency like student health or there's an accident or something like that, we respond immediately. We always have people in town with there's an emergency line. And so because we are so localized and take care of our own program, we're able to respond really, really quickly to student need.
That's really important, Brian. And please, could you tell us about the advantages of studying with you for those students that want to progress into the university in Canada, please?
Yeah, so the Alberta High School Diploma is highly regarded across the world, and especially within Canada. So if you graduate with a high school diploma from Alberta and renders in Alberta, you can get entry into any university in Canada, and we have kids who go on to university in the United States or other places in the world. It's very highly regarded, and it's very rigorous. It's difficult. Like, you have the one class that everybody has to pass in order to graduate is English at the grade 12 level, and it's even a challenge for Canadian kids. So we get lots of students who graduate with a high school diploma here. Many of our students just come for the experience or to practice English, but we get students who come long term, and they go on to do great things in all over the world. So yeah, it's a very, very highly regarded education system.
No, and that is really important because it can open to the students the possibility to study at
That's right.
higher education studies. Yes.
Yes, most definitely. And we help. One of my staff is very, very well versed in helping students get into university. So they just make a meeting with Lisa, and they sit down and they figure everything out. Education in Alberta is very individualized, so every student would have a different sort of graduation plan. And once the very first question on the application is, "Are you here to graduate?" And then that helps us know right away what the student's goal is, and then we work to make sure that goal happens.
Oh, thank you for this, Brian. And could you please let us know about the requirements students need to present to be part of your schools?
Okay, so we ask for certain documents. We want the last couple years of report card marks or transcripts. We don't ask that students all be honor students, but they do have to have basic academic success to pass all their courses, etc. Um, we recommend that everybody has a basic level of English, not zero. If you're coming with zero and you want to graduate, it's going to be really, really hard. Um, we ask for a video introduction of yourself, but also a letter of introduction. Um, I'm just trying to think offhand here. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Um, oh, letters of recommendation as well from your teachers. So, and that just all gets uploaded as part of the application.
Yes, that is really important. And as you said, students have to consider that we have to count with all this documentation on advance.
Yeah,
So we
it
have the
helps the
students to be
application.
up
You can
to date.
always, yeah, you can upload something a bit late, but if as part of the application, we won't really consider it until all the documents are in. So, sorry, I cut you off there, Hugo. I apologize.
Uh, no, Brian, it is excellent to have you here with us. And one thing that I want to mention that is that Canada has an excellent quality in education, and the lifestyle is really excellent. It is a country that is really safe, and you are interested in the best for the students and for their health in all the aspects. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, Hugo. Yes.
Yes. Well, I want to invite everybody again to contact Global Studies. You have here our email address, so you can ask for your free guided session if you want to study with Red Deer Public Schools in Canada. This is the opportunity. Don't wait and contact us as soon as possible. You can start to send us your documentation to help you apply, and don't forget, this is an excellent opportunity to improve your English, to have a different experience with students from different countries in the world, and to know more about Canada and the different opportunities that this excellent country can offer you. And it's an opportunity also to think about higher education. Uh, I don't know, Brian, if there is something else that you want to recommend the students,
I
the
just I always
parents.
just yeah, I just recommend to students that they should do some sort of experience like this. It changed my life. It continues to open doors for me. I'm sometimes surprised of the opportunities I get to do because I went away and learned another language and studied abroad, and it opens up your brain and it opens up your mind to see things through other people's eyes. So, we're a very good place for kids. But if students want to go elsewhere, that's just as good. I just recommend that students do something like this if they can, because it's a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Brian, for this recommendation. And we know that well, we are open to help the students to apply to study with you at the public schools in Canada. And Brian, thank you. I want to thank you
My
for
pleasure.
explaining all the details about Red Deer Public Schools programs. And don't forget again, if you want to apply, contact Global Studies. We are happy to help you applying. To all the students, don't forget, we're here to help you. Just contact us. And thank you, Brian, and thank you, everybody, for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Bye bye. See you soon.